Welcome to MojoPlays. Today, we're looking at the best locations in The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Even a guy as cynical as Geralt has to admire these surroundings.
When did you last see her?
We were on Temple Isle, running from Whoreson's men.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Three-sided cell.
See good, little dwarf man.
CD Projekt Red threw no shortage of Easter eggs into The Witcher 3, and they of course included a nod to that other huge fantasy franchise, Game of Thrones. While exploring one of the many islands in the Skellige Isles, Geralt can find a sky cell. The cell has 3 walls, the 4th one is missing and leading out to the depths of the ocean below, an especially cruel way to torture a prisoner. On the floor is a dead dwarf, who bears a striking resemblance to Tyrion Lannister, who was held in a cell just like this back in Season 1. Rabbit Cave.
Jesus Christ! I warned you!
In Eastern Velen, you might find yourself roped into a side quest that takes you to this particularly gruesome cave. Outside the cave mouth, Geralt will find the ground covered with blood and guts, as though a massacre took place here. And the culprit? The apparently harmless white rabbit sitting nearby. This is a reference to the killer rabbit in Monty Python and the Holy Grail, which King Arthur also dismisses as being harmless before it murders a good chunk of his knights. Unfortunately, Geralt doesn't have a holy hand grenade to kill it with. Mountain Ship.
It's Amos. Looks exactly like the etching in the book, except his head was intact.
Side quest The Last Wish will take you to this interesting location, which you can't otherwise access. Searching for the lost Djinn, Geralt and Yennefer go to a mysterious shipwreck on top of a mountain on Ard Skellig. Yen suggests that the Djinn granted a wish to take the ship out of danger, dumping it as far away from the sea as possible. Regardless of how it got there though, it's a unique place to explore, covered in frost and snow and granting a view like no other. Up higher than the clouds, you'd better make the most of this place because returning won't be easy.
My, it's lovely.
I think the spirits of Skellige favor us.
Skellige Rivers. This small region of Skellige is a little understated compared to some of the other sites in the Northern Realms. But if you pause to give Roach a chance to breathe, you can't help but take in the beauty of this small network of streams. All part of the same body of water, half a dozen of them run across and over each other in this deep valley. The natural world is rendered at its peak here, with steam curling off the surface of the shimmering water and deep red blossom coloring the small islands in between. Come here at dawn for one of the most stunning sunrises the continent has to offer. Bridge to Caer Trolde. Boasting some of the most intricate video game topography ever, few places show off the talent of the world designers as well as this narrow mountain passage in Skellige. The bridge to Caer Trolde is an astounding feat even within the game itself, built high above a river and sandwiched between 2 mountains. You'll first see it from the docks far below, then cross it yourself as you pursue your main quests. But if you want to get really hands-on with this bridge, why not try some base jumping? The water beneath means Geralt will survive this bout of extreme cliff diving, no matter how many times you throw him off. Daidawitt Desert.
Zirel is the lady of time and space. I merely know how to use this arcane knowledge to a limited degree. It's time.
You can only go here once, and unless you dawdle, not for very long. During the main quest Through Time and Space, Geralt is taken through magical portals between various worlds by the elven mage Avalak, including this unique desert planet. After spending hours trekking through woodlands, swamps, and mountains, this incredible desert is a breath of fresh air. Burned orange and baking hot, it's like nothing you've ever seen in Wild Hunt, and it's a little disappointing that you can't ever go back. Who wouldn't want an entire desert world for Geralt to explore? Then again, it is overrun by sand crabs, so perhaps less is more.
Jump in!
Kaer Morhen.
How many times do I have to tell her? Don't train alone. It only embeds your errors.
One of the franchise's most iconic locations is the home base of the Witchers themselves, Kaer Morhen. While by the time Wild Hunt rolls around, they're not taking on any new recruits, and it's been largely abandoned except for Vesemir, it's still a major landmark the players can explore at their leisure. This vast stronghold was once surrounded by a large ocean, thus making itself more defensible. Its entrance can be hard to find if you don't know where you're going. Be sure to take the time to investigate this ancient fortress when you return for the story.
You've got work to do. Your reflexes are still slow.
Maybe for a witcher.
Novigrad.
And this city's mine to protect. Mine and the eternal fires.
Geralt is a man more comfortable exploring distant corners of the world than getting stuck in the continent's seedy cities, but this doesn't mean Novigrad is something you can miss. In the heart of the Northern Realms, Novigrad is a free city-state ruled by its criminal underbelly, managing to escape the bloodshed of the Third Northern War, for the most part. This huge metropolis is an exciting area to explore, easy to get lost in its twisting alleys and streets. Home to both rich aristocrats and grisly slums, it's a world full of vices for Geralt to indulge in and contracts to complete, though you'll want to steer clear of the unpleasant witch hunters that occupy its walls.
The holy fire enlightens, burns, and cleanses.
To Saint. A Polish franchise, The Witcher takes almost all of its inspiration from Eastern Europe, which is why the region of Toussaint you journey to for the Blood and Wine DLC is so exciting. Modeled on medieval France, it's a world away from Skellige's unforgiving seas and Velen swamps, with ornate architecture and warm color saturation. In the heart of the capital, Beauclair, an enormous, beautiful palace stands and overlooks the rest of the valley. While in typical Witcher fashion, things aren't as pleasant as they seem, on the surface, Beauclair is a wonderful place to explore and take in, and you'll certainly remember the first time you saw its spires on the horizon. Check out these other great clips from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.